We finally have it. After 9 years of playing Dead by Daylight and 4 years since all the Pinhead Schizo posting, Springtrap, along with Five Nights at Freddy's, has officially been introduced into the world of Dead by Daylight. And apparently, if you're listening to me talk about this, you clicked on this video to hear my thoughts on this chapter. Now I'm going to be honest, I'm going to break down everything from the killer, the perks, the power, the cosmetics, all my thoughts, and just hang in tight. Watch the gameplay of my first ever Springtrap round, which was really not that good. And let's go. In short, I love this chapter. While it does a lot of weird things that aren't really FNAF, mainly the fire axe stuff, I think every bit of Springtrap, his power, all come together to make a fun yet faithful version of him, and I would probably rank this chapter an 8 or 9 out of 10, depending on how much fun I would be having during my current match. I played a lot more against Springtrap than with Springtrap, but I find him fun to face on both sides. So let's start off with the main attraction. Let's talk about Springtrap. He looks so amazing. Sure, he doesn't have his discoloration for his belly, inner ears, or lower legs, nor the little black buns he has on his chest, but I think the bloody torso piece does make him look better. In fact, all of his looks are great. The base and prestige skins are really cool, and I like the little creative liberties they took to make it a more stylized FNAF 3 Springtrap while keeping true to the original design Scott Cawthon made nearly 10 years ago. This is definitely the second best Springtrap design behind the original. If I had to rank all of them from best to worst, it would be the original, Dead by Daylight, AR, and then Help Wanted. Help Wanted is just the worst. That one looks so bad. Springtrap's main weapon is a knife, which was an obvious pick, and I think it works well since we've seen it use it in a lot of different books and the movies and continuities. The knife's a little big, but I think that's just a pointless nitpick. I think it fits well, I think it works well. I'm glad it's just not a standard butcher's knife, because we already have like Chucky and Michael Myers, so a different knife model works well. Now, however, the axe was completely out of left field. For the better part of a few months, we've all been debating on Springtrap throwing and recalling an axe. And while yes, it is true, I think what we got along with the axe, as well as how the axe plays, makes me happy with it. I love how much utility it has with it. If you land a hit when throwing the axe on a survivor, it'll damage them, and then if you get close enough, you can grab the survivor and jump scare them, which will cause you to like grab them by their throat and carry them to a hook. It's great. And if you miss the axe, it'll create this weird little area of effect that'll reveal the position of the survivor. Not their full aura outline, but like the same symbol when you're mending against a legion. It's pretty cool actually. I like how Springtrap functions, and I like how the axe has to be manually recalled as well. I also like how it just doesn't fly back into your hand. That's a lot better. Although I would have liked it maybe if like a ghost child could have delivered it back to you, but that's just pointless nitpicking again. That doesn't really matter. I think all this stuff with the weapons and the power surprisingly work well for Springtrap, and they described his playstyle as more grab-based, which works well. I do wish without the axe, Springtrap was undetectable or something, because he does get faster and all that. But oh well. I think there's some stealth elements in here. Next, let's get on to his voice lines. His voice lines are amazing, all done by the talented PJ Haywood, who did the original voice back in Pizza Simulator, Ultimate Custom Night, and Finds at Freddy's Special Delivery. And I think this is PJ Haywood's best performance as Springtrap. Debatable, I know, but I just like how it sounds. So yeah, Springtrap was done very well, and I don't really have any complaints about him. I honestly can't wait to see his full release once all the bugs are ironed out, if there are any. I really haven't seen any bugs against Springtrap, which is crazy. Next, let's get on to Springtrap's perks. I think his perks are pretty neat. It's a little weird there was nothing referencing I Always Come Back, but I think we got a perk called Haywire and Help Wanted and something else, but the name's leaving me. Anyway, when a compromise generator is completed, Springtrap's basic attacks will have 25% less cooldown. I think this is a pretty cool perk, but it's also kind of situational because it does rely on you having to like find a survivor or be within a chase within 60 seconds of a generator completing. Now maybe if they changed it so it was also that if the survivor failed a skill check on a comprised generator, it would work better, but oh well. I still think it's fine. It's definitely the weakest of his perks. Next, Springtrap is another perk that actually prevents 99 gates. So if a gate is past 50%, the gate will regress at a rate of 40, 45, and 50%. I think this is a great perk. I'm tired of survivors 99, and the fact that we actually have a killer that affects the exit gates, like not like Blood Warden, I think it's cool. This is definitely his second best perk, and I think his best perk is when a survivor is directly looking at Springtrap in their line of sight. Even if you can't see it, they will scream, and their full aura outline will be revealed for 2 seconds. It goes on a long cooldown, but I like this perk. I found a lot of use out of it. It's pretty cool. Alright, now quickly on to cosmetics. We only got 4 alternate skins for Springtrap, and a generic FNAF shirt for every survivor. Now to get the quick one out of the way, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get any security guard outfits or anything more for survivors, and none of these cosmetics are actually in the PTB, so I can't really rank them or tell if they have different voice lines or mores. But yeah, let's just talk about what we got. I think the skins we got are mostly okay. I'm not a fan of Clown Trap. I think that's the kind of weird skin for them to put in. I would much prefer Flaming Springtrap or even Burn Trap. But we got Glitch Trap, which is actually pretty cool. Toxic Springtrap with a complete redesign. Like, goddamn, this guy had to glow up. And then the one we all knew back at PAX East, which was the Yellow Rabbit skin, voiced by Matthew Lillard. All these skins are definitely cool. The lack of other FNAF characters is a little off-putting, but maybe they haven't finished showing off everything. And with the lack of survivor characters and a survivor cosmetic, I think I'll keep rocking David's purple security outfit with gray jeans as a sort of budget Michael Afton. Now let's get on to some of the other gameplay stuff. I love the camera and the doors. The cameras have some fun use, but not a lot of practical use. I can see them getting a lot of use out of like Survive with Friends, but doing solo stuff, I just think it takes away time you could be spent doing the generator or searching chests or really just looking for Springtrap on your own. But I still think the cameras were a nice touch. I like how the layout is reminiscent of the classic FNAF games, and I just think it's kind of neat. So the security doors are way better though. I love how you can just punch a code in them, and once you're done like going through a security door, you'll get this little first person cutscene through a security office to another door and be teleported on the other side. Now this is exclusive to Springtrap. This is a special survivor mechanic that he brings into every single match. And I think the coolest thing is that if Springtrap and you both use a security door, you'll run to each other at the office and you'll get jump scared, and it's just so cool. I think the map is also nearly perfect. Maybe 1 or 2 more rooms like the security office, or maybe just a random hallway and like a supply room maybe, but I think the pizzeria is big enough to work well. I think it's like a 50-50 split between the outdoor and indoor area. The map is so big and full of like jump scares, bloods, and references that I just can't help but love it so much. I especially love how the main animatronics will perform and then break down once you complete the main generator, and then like confetti will rain down from the ceiling. I think that's really cool. Another thing is like all the pots and pans clanging as you run through the kitchen, and the endoskeleton popping out of the vent is a nice little jump scare. I think they nailed the map really well. I don't really care that's not in its own realm, but I just love it. Next, let's get on with the lore. We didn't get much in terms of lore. Springtrap's killer bio tells us that the entity took Springtrap after he got spring locked, and also revealed that the room he was in was never officially sealed off. He could just leave at any time. And Springtrap was also characterized as this awful monster who only cares about inflicting pain and suffering onto others. So we got Mike Trap being dead. We got Mike being the Ultimate Custom Night protagonist. That's another debunked theory because Springtrap actually has voice lines referencing Ultimate Custom Night. And yeah, nice to put those theories to rest for the few people that still believe in them. The add-ons are where the lore and references really kick in. We have Gabriel mentioned and confirming him as the Freddy Kid and as Afton's prize kill, which was hinted back in Help Wanted. We got a FNAF World reference through the purple guy drawing. He only takes 10 seconds to draw. And we have Remnant being shown and name dropped in the Iridescent add-on. What's weird is that there's no mentions of the Afton family or no add-ons related to them, like a Foxy mask or ice cream or even a Fredbear plush. Everything seems to be really centered around the first 3 games and just a missing children's incident. But I think that's just Scott Cawthon being sneaky about his lore. And yeah, I think that's everything that's to do with Springtrap and the Five Nights at Freddy's chapter as a whole. Overall, I love it. I think they did a great job, and if I had to change one thing, yeah, I don't really have anything off the top of my head. Maybe if I make another video, I'll come up with something, but I'm loving what happened. I look forward to playing Springtrap a lot more. I look forward to getting all of his cosmetics and looking around with them, and I'll probably make another video once the full thing gets released, reviewing all the skins and just seeing how they play and whatnot. Until then, I'll see you all on the flip side.